Okay, we're looking at mixed exercise 6 from the first year textbook, so that's on circles, and we're on question 9. So we have a circle, we're given its centre, and we're told 2 coordinates where it meets the x-axes. So first thing we need to find is its radius. Well, if we're given, so if that's where it meets the x-axis at 4, 0, so that's obviously a point on its circumference. The radius is just going to be the distance between the centre of the circle and the circumference. So we'll do a quick sketch of that, but I don't know you necessarily need a sketch, but it's always, for an unusual question, it's always a good idea. So 8, 10, I'm going to put at about there. And it's meeting the x-axis at 4, 0 and at A0. So I haven't quite given myself enough room. So sorry, this is not going to be a particularly circular circle. Yeah, not in the slightest. Okay, but let's say that's roughly how it looks. So if that's 4, 0, they gave me the centre was 8, 10. So the radius will just be the distance between those 2 points. So r is going to be the square root of 8 minus 4 all squared plus 10 minus 0 all squared. So r is going to be root 16 plus 100. So root 116, and let's just be really lazy and stick that into the calculator. So that simplifies to root 29. I mean, they didn't mention simplifying it, so root 116 might be okay. They didn't say give an exact form, so 10.8 should also be acceptable. Okay, and then I need to find the value of A. So I could come up with a full equation of the circle. I think I've got 2 main options here. So one would be get the equation of the circle, because I know its centre and I know its radius, and then substitute in y is 0, and then I'd have a quadratic to solve. So I think that's my best bet. I'm going to go down that route. An alternative method that would work would be, well, obviously, if this is also on the circumference, so again, apologies, my diagram is not in the slightest bit to scale, but let's say that's where I'm going for my other point. Obviously, I know that the distance between 8, 10 and this missing coordinate is also going to be 2 root 29. So that would be another option. They're both going to make me end up with quadratic equations to solve. I think they're probably both similar in terms of the amount of effort required. Okay, so I'll do the first method I suggested. Right, so I know the full equation of this circle is x minus 8 all squared plus y minus 10 all squared, and that equals 2 root 29 squared. But obviously I know 2 root 29 is root 116. So if I square that, I'm going to get back to 116. So I am looking for, so I've got this coordinate A0. So I'm going to sub A, x is A, and y is 0 into the equation of a circle. And if you did the other method I suggested, so if you did that the distance between A0 and 810 is root 116, you're effectively going to get to this exactly the same equation. So it's a different way of describing it, but it's the same maths. I've lost a squared there. So I'm going to square out those brackets. So that will give me a squared minus 16a plus 64 minus 10 all squared is going to be 100. So we're going to end up with a quadratic. And I know that one of these solutions should be 4, because I know that 4, x is 4 when y is 0. I know that's one of my answers. I'm going to be very lazy and do 164 minus 116 on the calculator. Okay, so I can use that. So as I said, I know that 4 is going to be a solution, so I can use that to help me factorise, or you can put that quadratic into your calculator. So that's, hang on. Okay, yeah, so my diagram is absolutely rubbish because I've got it all the wrong way around. So it didn't matter in terms of me getting those solutions. It really didn't matter, but I'll do a better sketch of what's actually going on there. So A is 4, that's the one we already had. So the missing value that we didn't have was 12. So That's my final answer. Yeah, so just to clarify, because clearly on my sketch it looks like I'm after a negative solution. So I didn't really spend any time trying to get my sketch at all accurate. But basically what must be happening is circles over to the right here. So that was the 4 that we already had. That's the 12 that we just worked out. Okay, and if it had been a harder question or I'd got a bit stuck on it, it might have been worth spending some time actually getting an accurate sketch. But as I said, it didn't make any difference to my calculations. She says, hoping that A is 12. Yeah, and 2 root 29. Brilliant.